오구 만디노 The Gift of Acabar The Gift of Acabar Chapter 4 Worried Inga moved closer to her husband as the first group of frightened reindeer were being driven into the center corral. She tugged her feathers cloak and then whispered so that Tulu, standing only a few feet away, could not hear. Is she ready for this? For 4 years, there had been joy and contentment in the Mattis family, and each year always reached its climax in the festive autumnal roundup, in which they were every other reindeer family participated. Feather turned to watch Tulu make practice throw with his lasso. He nodded competently. He's almost 13. I was much younger when I walked my first roundup. Yes, but the reindeer were your whole life when you were a boy. Our son had spent far more time with his books and his writing than he had with the animals. That's true, and he can handle the kite line much better than his lasso. Still, I have no heart to refuse his help. He would be broken-hearted if we caused him to lose pace with the other boys who are working with their fathers. Have you heard what some of them are calling him? No, Kite Boy. They are calling our son Kite Boy. Even Bello's oldest, Acabar, asked him if there was a toll on his lasso, and Rabino's two boys wondered if he expected to catch reindeer with a bookmark instead of his rope. I don't like it, Feather. And what did Tolo say? Nothing. He just smiled and turned away. Feather's jaw tightened. Well, we'll show them. Are they ready? I see some of our animals in this group. During the carefree summer day, their reindeer had roamed at will, gazing and intermingling freely with reindeer from other village heads. Now, following the roundup of every animal on the mountain slopes, each family has to separate its own reindeer from the others before the long journey back to Kabbalah for the winter. Inga hastened toward the small fence enclosure which had been assigned to them and waited. Feather and Tullo climbed the splintered fencing and leaped down onto the dusty floor of the main corral. Standing close to the board, they watched and waited as the frightened animal thundered past, altered, slashing wildly. Sharp hoovered, spewing sand and pebbles in every direction. Suddenly Feather yelled, "There's one of ours! Take him, son!" Tullo spotted their family's identifying ear nick on a large stag. Calmly he twirled his lasso over his head as the snorting animal charged closer. He flicked his wrist and roped whistled through the air, dropping gently around the bobbing head. The stag tugged and barked, almost pulling Tullo from his feet before creasing, seizing its struggle, and placidly walking toward its captor, who was exultantly reeling in his rope. Feather pounded his son's tall shoulder proudly, and Tuck acknowledged the compliment with a wink. Then he led the catch toward the family quarter while Inka unlatched their gate. "That was perfect, son," she shouted. "Thank you, Mom. I'll be back with many more." The ransom and separation continued throughout the day, and the father and son walked steadily with only brief falls for food. Whenever they roped one of the dogs, her new clip to the new calf would follow, and Feda would hold it gently, while Tolo punched their mark on the bewildered infant left ear. Then the youth always stroked by the long-legged calf before leading it gently to their corral. The final group of animals was driven into the arena just as the sun began to set. Smoke from many family bonfires mixed with the flying sand from the corral, and below the heavy clouds over the rancorous bedlam of man and animal as Larson incessantly cut into the head from all sides. The herders were in a hurry to calm the remainder of their reindeer ahead of the fast-falling darkness. A weary father nudged his son. "There's our big monster with a broken handle. I'll take that one." "Please, Papa." "Tullo, please, let me handle him. All day long you've given me only the easy one to rope. Watch me, I'll show you. I am as good as any of the other children. Watch it." Peter stepped back reluctantly, but with a tight smile of admiration creasing his lower cheeks. He nodded. His young son gripped the rope and waited. Son Tullo once again spotted a startled horn through the dust. Head bobbing, eye distended as bulky animal approached any bear toward the fence. Tullo stepped back calmly, like the most expert of Medeido, flipped the rope skyward, and watched it settle softly over the snoring head. Just as Tullo pulled on the lasso, the terrified calf, bowling for its misplaced mother, rested between his legs. Off balance, Tullo was jerked from his feet by the rope tied to his left wrist. The lassoed beast swayed and barked, dragging the boy along the churned surface into the path of the charging herd. Tullo heard his father's anguished scream, then he felt sharp pain in his arm as the slips of his woolen shorts was ripped away by the groover. His small frame began to bob and jerk as the desperate animal tossed his head wildly to the pulley of the rope. Feather was already racing toward his son when he saw the rope snap. Instantly he leaped forward, landing on Tullo's blood-streaked back, covering his son's small body with his own. Scores of lacquered hooves immediately pounded over both of them. On the following morning, Uncle Barno carried Tullo's bruised body to his sledge, taking care that the nephew's right leg and his makeshift splint were cushioned by several blankets. He handed a single leather lamp to Tullo and passed the harness back to the second sledge where Inga sat, head bowed, with Jana in front of her. Finally, Vano attached the rein to the last two sledges and slapped the lead reindeer lightly. Tullo sat motionless, the strap wrapped loosely around his right hand. Tears ran down his cheek, but he ignored them. He turned in his sledge as far as his splinted limb would allow, and nodded to his mother, who stared back. Jana waved excitedly and called his name over and over, unaware of her childish innocence that behind her. In the third sledge was the carefully left body of her father being borne back to Kabbalah for burial.